Hello friends, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365, and today I'm going to go over the top 5 4K Blu-rays that were released in March 2023. Okay, a brand new month is upon us, so I thought I would go over what I feel are the top 5 4K Blu-rays released in March 2023. I would say, as a whole, it was a pretty good month. There was a consistent amount of releases every week, and of course some are going to be stronger than others, but I feel as a collector in the format, I think we're doing pretty good. So here are my 5. I'm going to begin with my number 5 pick, and honestly, if you would have told me that this movie, released by Disney, would have made a top 5 list, I would have just kind of questioned your sanity at that point, but here we are. It is a very decent 4K upgrade, and I'm talking about Cinderella on 4K. Now, as of this recording, the only way you can pick this up is if you're a member of the Disney Movie Club, but a wide release is expected sometime later this summer. But let me tell you, this is the reason why a lot of people upgrade to 4K. It's not so much a, marginal difference where some people feel that, a picture or audio are kind of guilty of when they get the 4K. This is a full restoration. I mean, the Blu-ray, by comparison, is abysmal, but they corrected pretty much every single problem that previous release had. And the picture is gorgeous. It has some good layer of grain, the color correction, they fixed the colors on this one. It's beautiful. I mean, this is a wonderful 4K. I don't know if this is a one-off, and I don't know what Disney's thought process is, but when you think about restorations and the proper releases, this absolutely deserves a place. If you want to hear all my thoughts on it, check out my review. This is absolutely something that you should check out for yourself. I highly recommend it. Cinderella on 4K, you can either, once again, order it directly from the Disney Movie Club or just wait for the wide release, but either way, check this one out. This next pick for March's 4K Blu-ray releases is a typical action thriller from Lionsgate, but it's fun. And if you choose to pick it up on any format, I would recommend the 4K, and I'm talking about Plane, starring Gerard Butler and Mike Colter. As I said, it's one of those movies that maybe 5 years down the line, you're not really going to be thinking too much about. But for a new movie, I think it makes for a really solid 4K. It's backed by Dolby Vision, so it takes that lush jungle setting and makes it really good looking visually. And I think overall it has a really nice palette to it. And the Atmos, for being an action thriller, it's pretty solid. I don't feel they dial things up to an 11, but somewhere around an 8 or so audio-wise, I feel really gives you a nice experience. And there's some good action moments that really take full use of that surround environment. I think it's a really good looking and sounding 4K disc. I do recommend it. Check it out, and hopefully one day, maybe it'll get more of a following, but yeah, I do recommend the 4K. If you're a member of the 4K community and you know about Paramount, you know it's a cause for concern, mostly when it comes to catalog releases. Their new stuff is typically better, but I do recommend this next one. I think it's a really underrated film, but it also makes for a very solid 4K, and I'm talking about Babylon. This has such a great style to it, and it visually just comes to life on 4K. The Dolby Vision has kind of like an enhancement to that vintage style the film relies on. Colors look really good. I mean, there's some good earthy tones, some golds, and I think it's very well done. And this being a new movie, of course, it's going to be exceptionally clean, and I think it's a really great looking 4K. And the audio, this is another one that I think is going to catch a lot of people off guard because it has some great dynamic activity. That surround environment is fully enveloped. There's a lot of chaos going on screen at any given moment. I would say even the first hour is probably the highlight when it comes to the audio, and it's done very well. Of course, the movie's not going to be for everybody. It's your mileage may vary, but if you've seen it in theaters and you're wondering about the 4K, this one I do highly recommend. Paramount did a great job with it. Transfer is solid, audio equally impressive. So check out Babylon on 4K. This really is a month of unexpected releases when it comes to quality changes. First we had Disney and Cinderella, and now Paramount. As I mentioned, their catalog releases can be somewhat suspect, but not this one. This is probably one of my favorite catalog releases on 4K this year. I'm talking about Dragon Slayer. I don't know whoever was in charge of this one, but they did a fantastic job. This is a nearly flawless picture and audio presentation. It is that good. The fantasy setting really looks great. They did everything right here visually. Maybe there's a little bit of smoothing in some of the optical effects towards the back end of the film. It's nothing, you know, catastrophic, but the rest of the movie is gorgeous. I think film grain looks fantastic. Colors really look great, and the Dolby Vision, it doesn't reinvent the wheel. It just kind of, it boosts it in a way that's very nice. And the Atmos, this is another fantastic audio. I mean, this really does a great job. It doesn't fundamentally change the soundtrack at all, but it enhances it. It just makes it a little bit more fuller, and there's some good overhead effects. And I normally don't talk about extras, but the Guillermo del Toro commentary, it's well worth a listen for that alone. So yes, Dragon Slayer on 4K, it's a high recommendation, and you should definitely check it out too. And for my #1 4K Blu-ray that was released in March of 2023, this is going to go to All Quiet on the Western Front. What can I say? I mean, for one, we never expect Netflix movies to not only be good, but to get physical releases. It's such a small percentage of Netflix originals that make it to physical format. But now that we have it, this just kills that streaming version, really. I mean, because this is why physical media is so much more superior than streaming. I mean, visually, it's gorgeous. This is a beautifully shot movie, and the HDR and Dolby Vision just brings out the colors in a natural way, stays in tone with the film. It looks fantastic, and it pretty much eliminates all those issues that, you know, from macro blocking to any kind of artifacts, they're all but eliminated on the physical 4K. For that alone, it's worth the upgrade. But really, the seller is going to be the Atmos. No more compression. None of that. It's pure, unfiltered audio on the physical format that only the physical release can do. This movie is excellent, and honestly, I highly recommend you check this one out. I did a full review if you want to hear all my more in-depth thoughts, but All Quiet on the Western Front is a fantastic 4K release, and my favorite one of March 2023. So those were my top 5 4K Blu-ray releases of March 2023. If you're interested in picking up any of these titles, I will leave direct Amazon links in the comments section below. If you use them, they really help out the channel. But now it's your turn. Let me know in the comments, what were your top 5 4K Blu-ray releases of March of this year? Sound off in the comments section. In the meantime, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. So until next time, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. I will see you at the movies.